It was a little bit intimidating, to be honest, first coming in, knowing what they did the first season and how successful it was, and having Emilio has done such a great job in all the other iterations of the show. So it was like a bit of a task to come in and sort of find my way.
Mighty Ducks Season 2 premieres on Disney Plus September 28th. So what can fans expect from the second season?
The second season is fun because it's sort of brand new. We're not in Minnesota anymore. We've gotten into a sports camp that is in California, and the team's really excited. They think they have a fun summer ahead, only to arrive and be met with a very intense coach who is all about winning. So they have to step their game up in season 2.
Absolutely. And Lauren, I also wanted to ask you this. The first season I really enjoyed, very successful. So why do you think fans and as well as critics enjoyed the first season of the series?
I think, thank you. I think this show hopefully honors the movies, which were some of the kinds of things that I think Disney does incredibly well, which are these sort of family classics that that have appealing characters. They don't pander to kids. They really respect them, but it's something you can kind of watch with family members of all ages. And I just think it has kind of a classic comedy with a heart, which is something that's hard to find as an actor, and maybe hard to find as a family. So I think there's always room for that.
Absolutely right. And Josh, I wanted to ask you this. You play a new character, Colin Cole, who's the instructor at a hockey institute in California. So how does your character stand out, and how much did you enjoy being part of the Mighty Ducks universe through a different lens?
It's funny because I'm in Minnesota right now, in
nice
LA. So
I'm in California.
I'm making the trek back to Los Angeles tomorrow, but it was a little bit intimidating, to be honest, first coming in, knowing what they did the first season and how successful it was, and having Emilio has done such a great job in all the other iterations of the show. So it was like a bit of a task to come in and sort of find my way, but it was a character that was very different. And he runs this intense hockey institute where the best of the best come and try to get better and go to the next level. And that's what he's all about, is performance, excellence, achievement, all these things that are great, but there are other aspects of life that he falls a little bit short on. And he's been falling short as a father, having put way too much pressure on his son. And so, that's sort of the journey that he goes on, is kind of learning how to take what he does well, but also adapt and maybe stop to smell the roses a little bit in life rather than just make it all about hockey.
Now, Josh, were you a fan of the Mighty Ducks films when they first came out?
Yeah, I really was. I grew up in North Dakota, which is right next door to Minnesota, which is where the Mighty Ducks are from. So, and I played hockey. I mean, I played hockey up until 7th grade, and then I got too tall and skinny and had to pick basketball instead. But I loved it. I loved hockey, and I'd sort of fallen out of love with it over the last several years, just because I wasn't that close to it. But having been a part of this show and having to learn how to play hockey again and skate and get on the ice and handle the puck and all that, I truly fell back in love with the game. And I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Again, I thought, hey, the whole hockey thing had passed me by, but it's been an amazing little ride. I mean, I had so much fun making this show. Lauren is just such an amazing example for these kids. She's an awesome partner to work with. The kids are super talented, super sweet, professional, unaffected, and kind to each other. And I just found it to be a really fun work environment.
And speaking of that, Lauren, how much did you enjoy working with the kids? I got a chance to talk to all of them, and they're all great. But how much did you enjoy working with the kids in this second season?
It was more fun, I have to say, because just the world is more fun, a little more fun. And they are such a wonderful group, and they sort of had more confidence and more, I feel like we just got it down a little bit more in terms of just how to enjoy our day and how to work together. And Josh was such a great addition and great energy. I just love those kids. I really do. I'm so proud of them, and I just enjoy working with them. I'm kind of blown away by them. And, we're in scenes and they're handling really tough material and being really sweet about it. And Brady did steal my car one day and go to McDonald's, but besides that, I think they're going to grow up to be okay citizens.
That's awesome. Well, Lauren, Josh, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Again, congratulations on season 2 and continued success to both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brian.
The Mighty Ducks season 2 premieres on Disney Plus September 28th. How would you best describe the season? Is it bigger? Will we see more hockey? How would you describe this season?
I would definitely say it's a lot more in depth than season 1. I think in season 1 you saw a lot of hockey and not too much of diving into the characters and diluting that. But I feel like in season 2 you really get to experience characters and learn a little bit something new about everyone.
Yeah, I think that's what's really, really nice about season 2 is that I feel like each character has their own arc and their own experiences, and I think that we do a really good job of getting into each experience, which I'm really excited to see on screen.
Yeah, I think they explained it really well. Getting into each of the characters, learning a little bit more about them, and seeing what they go through and sort of seeing the real side of them. And I think that's what's really important, and it sort of makes this season a lot more relatable.
Absolutely. And Brady, I wanted to ask you this. Your character, Evan, and watching the first 2 episodes of season 2, he seems to enjoy the Hockey Institute, which is run by Colin Cole, played by Josh Duhamel. How would you, well, I should say, but do you yourself share the same passion for hockey as Evan?
I would say to a certain extent. I think that when I'm out working and I'm on the ice and we're with our coaches and we're filming, I'm definitely trying my hardest. Definitely want to improve to get better. I'm definitely working hard to get better and improve. And definitely always wanting to get better is kind of my mentality, and I can kind of relate to that with Evan. But definitely not wanting to go to like the next level or the NHL. Personally.
Sway, your character Sophie is right there with Evan when it comes to hockey skills, being one of the top players for the Ducks. But this Hockey Institute is pretty interesting because it's very competitive. And Sophie went through that in season 1, in the beginning of season 1. So do you feel like she really believes in this Hockey Institute, or does she feel like it's kind of what she went through before?
Yeah, I think that's what sort of pulls her back when she gets to the camp. She sees how excited Evan is and doesn't necessarily feel the same way. I think it sort of gives her flashbacks to when she was on the Mighty Ducks, like you mentioned. And she worked so hard in season 1 to get away from that. So I think she was just expecting this summer to be with her Don't Bother friends and to get away from everything that she was stuck to before. So she was really just hoping for a relaxing summer, not necessarily going back to that really tough Mighty Ducks, or should I say mean Mighty Ducks ways. So I think when she got to the camp, it's not quite what she was expecting.
Naveen, I want to ask you this. You play J. Cole. You're a new character. You got to work closely with Josh Duhamel. But how was your experience being part of the Mighty Ducks universe?
I mean, it's just such an honor, to get to work with all these talented people. It's just, it's a dream come true. I think that I'm extremely lucky to be a part of such a great franchise. And I really kind of saw that throughout filming, is just like, everyone honoring the franchise and even in the show, the way the show is written, you can see them honoring the OG movies and stuff like that, which is just really, really cool.
Naveen, Sway, Brady, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Again, congratulations on season 2 and continued success to all of you. Congratulations on season 2 of Mighty Ducks, which premieres on, which premieres on September 28th on Disney Plus. So How is how's this season different from the first? Anyone can answer.
Well, first off, we're in a whole nother state now. So I think that's the biggest change, that we're all the way across the country. But yeah, we're at a new intense summer camp, bunch of underdogs doing their best. Ended up winning, state championships last season. So this season, we're kind of going to see where that goes at this new camp where, that doesn't really mean anything because everybody's good. So.
And when it comes to, and this goes for season 1 as well, did you guys have any training for these 2 seasons? And if so, how was the training?
We had a lot of, before each time we filmed, we had 2 weeks of hockey training. And it was kind of like intense, not as intense as Epic, but intense training of like, I want to say like 2 hours a day. I think one day there was like 3 or 4 hours at once. But we kind of prepped and make sure we knew like if we were going to do a stunt later on, we kind of practiced it, and it was a lot of help from the coaches and making sure we were comfortable with what we were doing. So it was really great.
What was the most difficult part of training?
I think the very beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I had never, like, not even like skated once. Like, I've skated once, but that was when I was little. It's like if you don't ice skate or whatever, if you're watching this, the first couple steps you'll ever take on like ice skates, like try to actually go, are the hardest because it's like a whole different muscle you don't really use when you're walking normally. So I don't know, the first couple steps, like the first couple times you do it, are the hardest.
Yeah,
I literally cried the first time I was on the ice. So
yeah, I can understand that as well. But along with the original cast from season 1, Josh Duhamel comes in. He plays Colin Cole. He runs the Hockey Institute. So how is it working with Josh?
Nothing bad to say. Like, he's probably so nice. He's like Luke said, he's like the dad of the group. He's so nice and funny, and there's no complaints. Nothing bad you could say about him.
And like, as a celebrity and like famous person, like, he's the best. He would hang out with us. He'd honestly, there was even one time where me and Maxwell were freestyling and he takes a video of it and puts it on his Instagram. So it's like, he's that kind of guy. He's amazing. We love him.
And DJ, how about you? What were your thoughts on working with Josh Duhamel?
This is actually I'm pretty sure this is all my first time meeting Josh, but he's an amazing guy. I enjoy working with him. We have a lot of fun times on set. We joke around. Like Luke said, there'll be times where Maxwell and him will be freestyling. I'll be making the beat. Josh will record it and then post on his Instagram. So
absolutely awesome. And the last question for me before I let you guys go is, after filming 2 seasons of Mighty Ducks, have you guys become big hockey fans, or were you already fans of the sport before taking on the roles?
I became a way bigger hockey fan than I was like in the first season, because in the first season I was still kind of skeptical of the whole entire sport, but after the second season, my perspective of hockey actually changed. So
yeah, I'd definitely say before I wasn't much of a hockey person, but after I can say now that I do enjoy playing hockey. But so I'd say there's a huge difference from the start to now.
I would say that I do not want to play after being on the show. It is intense. It is, it's one of those things that I applaud the NHL players. They have skill, they have talent, and I wouldn't even want to touch something like that. That is very difficult to do, but I admire it. I think it's great, and definitely a bigger hockey fan than I was.
Yeah, same thing. It's like, I'm from Philly, so when I watch hockey, it's the Broad Street Bullies. It's not really hockey. It's more like just big guys beating each other up. So it's like, I never saw that when I was little. Like, that's what I want to do. But now, like, playing hockey, like Tegan said, Luke said, I don't think I could ever play it, but it's a fun sport to watch, definitely.
It absolutely is. Well, DJ, Tegan, Luke, Maxwell, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Again, congratulations on season 2 and continued success to all of you.